The 15 cabinet offices constituting the executive branch of government are traditionally filled by incoming administrations after being elected. In a departure from previous administrations, it is the policy of the National Optimist Party to select and introduce proposed cabinet officers prior to elections, as they are integral parts of government, and it is the right of the people to know their public servants and their positions on matters relating to their proposed fields of service. Education is a matter we view as key to the maintenance and furtherance of our great republic. We hold dear the words of Thomas Jefferson: educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of liberty. We have shown that we are quite rich enough to defend ourselves. Now we must recognize that we are quite rich enough to educate ourselves as we need to be educated. With this in mind, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you today my friend and a noteworthy educator and the proposed Secretary of Education, Mary Margaret Menahan.
Thank you, Eve. It is an honor to be considered for this momentous task, and always a pleasure to be here with you. It will be the Department of Education's objective to realize the expectation that all persons, whatever the level of their ability, have a right as citizens to a free education of the kind for which they are best suited and to the fullest extent of their powers. Indeed, it is our position that anything less imperils our democracy and renders us unprepared to meet the challenges our collective future holds. The administration that we will replace now spends 10 times more on defense than it does on education. Now that begs a simple question. What will there be to defend if we fail to educate our populace? America currently spends more to amuse a child than to educate one. In this pursuit, we fail to recognize commonly held wisdom as old as the ancient Greeks, namely that the foundation of democracy is education. And we hasten to add, the downfall of both Athens and Rome was their fixation on amusement and indulgence at the expense of education and statecraft. How are we to expect an electorate to choose the best governance unless they have been educated to choose wisely? These are not mere rhetorical points or questions, but central concerns of the Department of Education. For it will be our guiding principle that the purpose of education is to prepare young people to educate themselves throughout their lives, to give them tools designed to allow them to take meaningful action as the far-reaching changes of the 21st century come to bear. In this end, after careful consideration and consultation, we propose large-scale changes in the ways education is viewed and conducted. Now, what follows are but two examples from a broad array of choices available to us by which we can reimagine and reinvigorate education to a systemic basis. First, to make mention again of the classic Rome and Greece, and almost every other notable civilization for that matter. Those cultures had held the profession of teacher in high esteem. Teachers were the advisors to the sovereign in most courts throughout history. For a scholar to be presented at the imperial Chinese court, they had typically completed 35 years of education. We intend to reestablish the prominence and reconfirm the importance of the teaching profession in our society and culture. We propose not only to offer our teachers prestige, but compensation commensurate with the value of their service to the country. Second, free and universal education of the academic variety will be offered beginning at as young an age as any parent sees fit, but may be suspended, augmented, might be a better word, for a period beginning at the onset of puberty in favor of a rigorous and carefully planned and supervised period of intensive physical and social education continuing until maturity at minimum. Thereafter, an individual is free to resume their academic education in areas of interest or suitability, or to pursue apprenticeships in trades, crafts, or the arts. Chapter and verse validating the worth of such a concept from this report and that study could be offered here. But let me say, we simply propose to offer that all teenagers and their parents want and deserve a break from one another. Furthermore, young people will have the opportunity to mature healthfully in an environment where a child can find their own place in a meritocracy through their own actions, not through the ownership of an article of clothing or membership in a clique or a gang. And benefit accrues to the larger society as well. Recall, if you will, the gains derived from the Civilian Conservation Corps. Imagine, if you will, an immense value such an organized group might have offered in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, and now Ike, or another such natural disaster or urgent need. Whereas many, if not most, other societies have imposed some period of compulsory military service. Our proposal posits a period of beneficial social service, of benefit mutually to those who serve and to the society served. This proposal, it's really for the children, and by it we mean to put teeth into the old saw, no child left behind. Every child born in our society not only has a place in it, but is a needed and valued member of it.
Well, Mary, you'll get some tongues wagging on this one, but that's fine. In fact, it confirms you're the right choice for Secretary of Education. Our National Optimist Party recognizes a vast array of possibilities for change and improvement in virtually every sector of American society, and we stand solidly for the implementation of creative policy leading to collective betterment. I look forward to continuing this grand public discussion and working with you personally in the months and years to come.
Thank you.